10 Unbelievably Dangerous Hiking Trails. Number 1. Mount Huashan, China. Mount Huashan is a sacred Taoist mountain in Shaanxi Province, China. It is known for its steep cliffs, narrow ledges, and perilous trails. The most dangerous section of the trail is known as the plank walk, which consists of a narrow wooden plank that hangs over a cliff edge. Number 2. El Caminito del Rey, Spain. El Caminito del Rey, or the King's Path, is a walkway that clings to the side of a cliff in El Chorro, Spain. It was built in the early 1900s to provide access to a hydroelectric plant, but it fell into disrepair and was closed to the public for many years. In 2015, the trail was reopened after being extensively renovated. However, it is still a very dangerous hike, with narrow ledges, high drop-offs, and no safety nets. Number 3. Angel's Landing, USA. Angel's Landing is a hike in Zion National Park, Utah. It is a steep and narrow trail that leads to a narrow ridge with breathtaking views of the park. The trail is very popular, but it can also be very dangerous. There have been several deaths on the trail in recent years. Number 4. Kalalau Trail, Hawaii. The Kalalau Trail is a 22-mile trail that runs along the Na Pali coast on Kauai, Hawaii. It is a beautiful hike, but it is also very challenging. The trail is narrow and exposed, and there are several sections where hikers have to cross streams or climb over boulders. Number 5. The Annapurna Circuit, Nepal. The Annapurna Circuit is a hike in Nepal that takes hikers around the Annapurna Massif, a mountain range in the Himalayas. It is a popular hike, but it can also be very dangerous. The trail is steep and narrow, and there is a risk of altitude sickness and avalanches on the trail. There have been several deaths on the circuit in recent years. Number 6. Kiragbolten, Norway. Kiragbolten is a boulder that is wedged between two cliffs in Lysbakken, Norway. It is a popular tourist attraction, but it can also be very dangerous. The boulder is only 5 feet long and 2 feet wide, and it is located over 2,000 feet above the ground. Number 7. The Mount Everest Base Camp Trek, Nepal. The Mount Everest Base Camp Trek is a hike in Nepal that takes hikers to the base camp of Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. It is a popular hike, but it can also be very dangerous. The trail is steep and narrow, and there is a risk of altitude sickness on the trail. There have been several deaths on the trek in recent years. Number 8. Via Ferrata Piz Badile, Switzerland. Via Ferrata Piz Badile is a via ferrata, or fixed-line route, on the Piz Badile mountain in the Swiss Alps. It is a very challenging climb, with steep ascents and descents, and several sections where hikers have to cross exposed ridges. Number 9. The Narrows, USA. The Narrows is a slot canyon in Zion National Park, Utah. It is a popular hiking destination, but it can also be very dangerous. The canyon is narrow and deep, and hikers have to wade through water for most of the hike. There is a risk of flash floods in the canyon, and there have been several deaths in the Narrows in recent years. Number 10. The Inca Trail, Peru. The Inca Trail is a 4-day hike that leads to Machu Picchu, an ancient Inca city in Peru. The trail is very popular, but it can also be very challenging. The trail is steep and narrow, and there are several sections where hikers have to climb over steps or cross bridges. There is also a risk of altitude sickness on the trail.